My name is Dr. Rick Saguil.
And action. Hey, Jay had a... This is Kirk man.
Stress and
And action. Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick. And hopefully you've seen my quantum shift videos. I'm going through a couple different phases and changes in my life, and Allie's question about redefining where should you be going and how should you be attacking your symptoms, very challenging. But I think I have a solution. And sometimes the solution is subscribe to me first. So subscribe and survive, because I think in this medical paradigm of insurance-based diagnoses, I realize that when I'm trying to redefine myself, it's hard when you have accepted, when I've accepted the fact that I'm a doctor that takes insurance and I got to follow the parameters of being reimbursed, and I have to fit, because I'm a family practice doctor by trade, I have to fall into the family practice category. I will not let that define the way I heal people and the way I come up with solutions. So it's really redefining your path. And sometimes when you have a suffering, it's important to understand what's causing the suffering. But I think we become very set in saying that this suffering is me, and then from that point on, you take that as your cloak, and you'll always wear that cloak. Even if somebody offers you a way to change it, you'll keep that because it's your ritual, and instead of trying to change things. Like the typical example is New Year's. We're supposed to make some resolutions, and most of us at the 30-day mark, at the 2 to 3 week mark, have cut off that because we've gone back to the old rituals, because that's what defines us. We get up in the morning and say, oh, I got pain, crap. You know what my ritual is? I get up in the morning, I don't even get up yet. I just open my eyes, assume, depending on how I feel, it's 5 o'clock or 4:30. And then I start doing my breathing exercises. And then I get up. And then I put my feet on the ground after having done approximately 5 minutes. And then I head off to either put my topical lotion on, as far as CBD or something else. Then I head down to make some tea. And I say hello to my friend Perry, my dog, and I let him out, and that's my ritual. And then I get on the computer and do some housekeeping, but I will not get on the computer because I know that will put me into a spiral of, oh my God, look at all this information. So that's my ritual. I've kept that, and I'm trying to redefine that, but sometimes, not sometimes, the way I was going, and this pertains to Allie too, I would wake up in the morning and think, holy mackerel, it's Monday. I'm going to be inundated with stuff. I better get on the computer right now and start answering some questions and start pre-populating the charts, and so to make it an easier day. You know what? I'm not doing it anymore because I have a definition of this is work Monday to Thursday, 50 hours, and then I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for me, my website, my education, my family, my chores at home, and that is not going to cross the boundaries unless there's an emergency, obviously. So when we take on a patient in the office, is getting back to Allie, when we take on a patient in the office, we are told as doctors, just make it easy, use the algorithm, and say that the symptoms that this patient is coming in with are this disease. So suddenly the patient with symptoms becomes a disease because the algorithm says I can take care of it fast. And where does that lead us? To a medicine. So symptoms, disease, medicine, treatment, out. And that is, I think, been embraced by doctors, and we're making our patients embrace that. So patients are also taking on the definition that I am suffering, I am pain every morning, and this is the way I'm going to be. So when New Year's resolutions come up, I'm going to just, forget that. This is me. It's an easier ritual to maintain than to take the step towards changing this life. So I think that it's important to get off the fence and say that I have to investigate or entertain a new dictum, a new ritual. if you maintain these, no question, if you're going for a marathon and training for a marathon in Chicago in October, and you start training by saying, I'm going to walk a marathon tomorrow, you're probably going to fail. But if you make that task, that summit, which is what I call it, you have to hit a summit. If you make the summit a bite-sized amount of tasks, then the ritual just increases until you get to, say, October, 26.2 miles. I got it. So August, like what I'm doing, I'm going to hit 14,000 feet and get to the top of 2 Colorado mountains. I just barely made it last time. I didn't train, but I'm not going to go every weekend and do 14,000 feet, 3,000 feet elevation. I can't do that in Illinois. So what I'm going to do, every weekend I'm going to do a little ritualistic stuff until I get to that point. I'll change it and make it bite-sized so I'll be successful. So that's what we're going to do with Allie. We're going to not just take on the task of stopping reversing all diseases. We're going to make it a bite-sized task, but we have to start, especially I can't be there all the time, you have to start by redefining who Allie is as a person. We're not a disease, we're not passing out, we're not irritable bowel syndrome, we're not small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, we're not any of that stuff. We are an individual that's suffering for the time being. We're going to work our way out. We're not dependent on herbs, we're not dependent on prescriptions. It's a tough sell because we're so ingrained in understanding that we're a disease, I need medicine, and I will not do without it. But the only way out to the next summit, unless we stay at this level for the longest time of life, is to redefine our direction, redefine who we are identity-wise, and then attack with small ritualistic successes. So I think this will probably pertain to everybody as far as the failed resolutions, but that's how I would say my observations for Allie. But my observations for me too are I've identified myself as a doctor that is not doing the 15-minute rituals and suffering for it because I get lower reimbursement and pay cuts for me, salary cuts, but I am not going to accept that anymore. I'm an integrative medicine doctor. I'm very good at what I do. I'm a lifestyle coach. One of my patients, Lisa, gave me a shirt that says lifestyle coach, and I really am going to embrace that. Whether I stay in the insurance business or I don't care at this point, because I know I have a good product and I know I have to give this to everybody. And when I take care of myself, and I probably should make this a My Quantum Shift episode, but when I repackage myself, you guys can watch and hopefully get the same benefits. So Allie, let's defy where we have been up until now and defy that definition of who we are, change that around and change the way we are headed to success instead of staying in the same pit. So if you guys have any comments, put them down below. Support for Allie. Otherwise, I'll see you at the next video.